These commissions are different kind of practice. They're more collaborative, so you're working with a group of people always. Even if you would be producing let's say a sculpture of your own in your studio, then you have to discuss with the architect maybe and the client. So if it's a city of Tampere, then you're with the like the personnel of the city, and then the future users, and then as I'm also involved, or they're kind of integrated the works into the building. So I'm also with the constructor of the building that I'm talking with. So I'm talking with school children, kindergarten people, youth facilities, the client, the architect, and the constructing company, but then also with my wonderful team of 3D specialists and then concrete consultant. So it's like a collaborative effort usually, and then I feel more, I'm not the kind of proverbial artist that is in the studio and creating things. It's more like I am a project manager who kind of runs this project, see that it's executed well.
Yeah, I haven't myself tried these public art projects, because there is once in a while this open call for proposals where everybody can just propose a project for a public art piece. But I know that the application is so heavy and there are so many angles that you need to consider and organize. Even like, if you don't know that are you going to win or not, you have to predict so much in advance. I think it's a very different process from just creating art in your studio.
I think so too. But it could be somehow, you could see it as applying for an exhibition in an open call as well, that you have to have a proposal. Of course, it's easier to come up with a proposal because you have the work, or you
in
have
exhibitions
an idea.
It's so much shorter than you can write one page and be clear about that. But,
I see your point, and I agree. But also I would encourage artists, regardless of their field, to kind of try to tap into that. So you can, for example, take your portfolio to Emma or Hum or something and see if there is some interest. And I think it's interesting because it's another type of it's totally, well, I can see, probably in the community of artists, sometimes it's being considered as being kind of like not a bit low and kind of like that you have to make compromises, but I don't really care about that. I see it as an opportunity to try new things, to make works different with different materials for different audiences, and usually the work stays there, so it is there for the next decades or half.
Yeah, and it's very important to keep people interested in art generally, that are not artists and that have nothing to do with art, no connection otherwise. So having these public artworks in their neighborhood could be very valuable. Yeah,
it could be the only connection that certain people do have to visual arts. And also, I find it wonderful that they're in most of the cities and the counties in Finland, that they are part of this percentage for art principle, or they kind of take it as part of their construction programs.
I think I have mentioned before, don't remember in which episode exactly, about this percentage for art concept that they are doing here. Was it 1% of every new building has to be dedicated to art? Yeah, so it's a small yes, precisely. So if you're building a new building, or you're doing like a major renovation, then a certain amount of or certain portion of the costs are being directed to making new art pieces. But if it would be 1%, that would be a lot of money, since these construction projects, they're like tens of millions, massive,
and then I think they kind of sometimes look at it and it's 0.5% or less. but still it's relatively good budget for art, for an artwork.
Looking from the art perspective, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
So do you have a preference of how you work? Because you said that these are more collaborative projects. Like, do you prefer collaboration with other people, or would you rather focus on your own?
I retain my right not to answer to that question, or actually I like both ways. So I like sometimes focusing on my own things, doing like kind of playing in the studio, seeing what comes of that, taking it to a gallery exhibition and testing out stuff. But of course, in the public art commissions, this experimentation. Of course, my projects are experimental. Usually they're done with methods that I haven't tried before, and I try to develop methods, but you have to really at least try to get them executed in a way that they
stay there.
They stay there.
Yeah.
That they have a lifespan at least, and they're not dangerous, or you have to take these things under consideration. So it's different, but I like both, and I'm happy. I'm privileged to be able to do both.